What's up, guys? If you are watching this, then you really want to build a thriving YouTube station around either sports cards or sports or collectibles or something else. And for one, it's a lot of fun, right? This has been such a blast building this station up to the point where it's at. And it's also very lucrative. Right now, I'm making about $800 a month on my station, but the top YouTuber out there is this 10-year-old kid that made about $26 million last year. And the crazy thing is that YouTube has been around since like 2006. There's a lot of money there. There's more views going to YouTube right now, but it is a very difficult platform to get the formula, to understand the formula and get it down. So what I want to do in this video, since a lot of people have been reaching out regarding, hey, Brad, what camera do I use? How do I build a station? Can you check out my station and give me some tips? Because of all of that, I wanted to put out this live stream where I go over what I've learned what I've learned to do to build the station to where it's at. And I know a lot of people just get this wrong because they focus on the wrong things, like what equipment and SEO and tags and stuff like that. And they spin their wheels and they eventually quit. And I don't want that to be you, because I want you to carve out your niche and have fun with this. I feel like there's a lot of potential for many of us to be on YouTube doing this. So this video will be about giving my advice, my tips, everything I've learned that I've paid for. I've paid thousands of dollars to learn this stuff over the last couple of years, and that's why it might look a bit easy, but I want to pass on as much as I can so you can get started. So you know the drill. Welcome back. Now let's get to work. And I don't know how long this video is going to be, but I do have notes here. So what I want to do is give you a bit of background first. And if you guys don't know, I was modeling for several years, and I still model from time to time. And when I started modeling, it got me very comfortable in front of a camera, for one, which is nice, but also it kind of led to hosting, because a lot of people would say, hey, Brad, you should be an actor, but I have zero interest in acting. If you see my personality, I love being myself. I love being very raw and, have my dry humor, and the idea of tapping into a different personality or becoming someone else really scared me. So that was out of the equation. But when I went into the hosting realm, especially living here in LA, I took this on-camera hosting class for about 6 months, and I learned a ton. And the one thing that the teacher, who's also a manager of talent, taught me, she said, you want to find your voice, you want to do this, you want to be opinionated, you want to stand your ground, you want to plant your flag. You don't want to be this vanilla, hey, this is good, hey, that's good, everything's good. You want to say, hey, this is what I stand for, this is my opinion, and you're either going to draw people in or push them away. But you know that the people that are drawn in are your people. If you are a vanilla personality, like this is good and that's good, and I don't really have a stance, it's hard to really build an audience. And so that's why if you see some of my videos, I can be pretty controversial compared to others, because it's like, yo, here I am, this is my voice, and it's very important to develop your voice so that the right people come to you. And when they come to you, they are hooked because you are their dude, versus you're just another bland vanilla ice cream type of dude. Okay, so I learned about that, but the other thing they also said was, make sure to build a YouTube station, because if you want to be a host on NBC Sports or ESPN or wherever else, they don't care about your college degree anymore. That was something that they cared about 10 years ago, 15 years ago. But now with social media, if you want to have these opportunities, you've got to build a brand so that that becomes your resume. So you build a Snapchat, that's what they said years ago, and then YouTube and Instagram and whatever. When you have that following and you have yourself on video or in pictures communicating with your audience, all this stuff, that's when the right networks will spot you, because they're not looking for some random dude that has gone to college for 6 years to be good on camera. They're looking for real life experience and a real audience. So that's why it's very important to build a station. That's why I'm building this station now, is because I'm like, I love the community, I love cards, I love creating content, but I also want to be open to ESPN looking up who should we bring on to talk about sports cards in our new segment. Well, we have this guy in YouTube, this person on Instagram, this person with a podcast. We all like their voices. They have an audience. Let's bring them in versus some random stranger. So that's another thing I just want to bring up. Let's see here. And I have notes written down here. I'll share my screen in a bit. But okay, so I did have one video that went kind of viral, and I'll show you that in a second. But this happened back in 2017, and this got me hooked onto YouTube because I said, you know, if I can do 10 of these videos or 20 of these videos, I could pay all my bills, and that doesn't include everything else that is going to come from it. So let me show you which video it was. And I was just looking at the metrics, and I was actually kind of upset that it's only 91% liked versus the others. But here we go. Share the screen. And this is what really got me onto YouTube. Share screen. And I don't know how long this video is going to be, by the way. There's no limit. I just want to share what I want to share so you guys have a good head start. Okay, let's see if this is it. Okay, so so check this out. And I'll try and make this a bit bigger, but you see this video here on the left, how to pass the real estate exam without reading the book. And I got the thumbnail wrong. I mean, I shouldn't have written that, but it is a pretty nice quality overall. And if you see here, 349,000 views. In fact, this should hit 350,000 views any day now. This is a video I published in 2017. And when this happened, and a couple months later, I saw it grow, I was like, holy crap, there is some serious potential on YouTube. And so what actually happened, I'll go into the analytics and I'll show you the analytics of this video. Hold on one second. But what happened was I was talking about how I passed the real estate exam without reading the book, and it was all true. I said, like, hey, I didn't buy the book. I passed the Florida exam here in California. I wanted to get my license in Florida, but the point was that I did the practice test. I made sure to do the test at a certain time of the day. I did all these things. And when I saw the response, I was like, this is incredible. So let me show you the analytics, because when I saw this, I just knew there was something. And I know I'm rambling now because I don't have someone else to talk with. But look at the analytics and tell me this doesn't excite you, because let's do an entire screen. That'll be better. Okay. So check this out. Since this video had dropped, I've gained 3.9 thousand subscribers from it, which is fine. But this is the cool thing right here. Almost $5,000 of revenue from this one video, which is insane. And that doesn't include the fact that the company I used in this video, it's called Real Estate Express. And that's the company I got my test done through. They reached out to me and said, hey, Brad, we found your video on YouTube, and you're talking about our company because you used us, and you're not getting paid, but you're probably bringing business to us without even knowing it. Would you like to become an affiliate? And I said, oh my God, yeah. So they gave me an affiliate link. I put it up there on the website, and now every month I get about $100 to $150 in, excuse me, in revenue from Real Estate Express because of this. So this 4,800 is pretty much like closer to 9 or 10,000. But the point is that you could look at all the metrics, and I'll go over this later. The point is that this really got my attention. This really excited me because I knew the potential was there, because this video was no longer than an hour or two to record and upload and everything. It was like pretty much no editing. It was horrible, but I delivered enough value in a way that all these people are watching. And now today we have about 350,000 views on it. Okay. So let me go to the next point. So that's the background. That's what excites me about YouTube. And the other fact that it's been around forever, and it's not like one of these platforms that could disappear in 6 months or a year. I have a lot of faith in YouTube. It is owned by Google, and YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, let's go over some of the biggest mistakes people make. And the biggest ones I see people make are focusing on equipment. Like I won't start a YouTube station until I get a fancy microphone, fancy camera. that's what I need. I need perfect lighting. I need all that. That's just not true. You can get started with your iPhone, with whatever phone. Phone audio is phenomenal. And most of the videos I have on YouTube are with the audio of my cell phone. So it's not something that you really need to worry about. I would say audio would be a higher priority than video, just because if you are conveying a message, people might be cooking dinner or cleaning or showering, but if you can be clear with your audio, you're fine. If your video is not the highest quality, it's something you can live with, but there are bigger things to focus on. The other thing is the algorithm and SEO. And here's the thing with the algorithm. The algorithm of YouTube is only designed to put the best video in front of the person watching. Their only goal is to have people watching YouTube for as long as possible. So the algorithm is just mimicking human behavior. It's just saying, hey, this person has landed on YouTube. We want to make sure we are keeping them on this platform for as long as we can by offering them the best content possible so that it's very tough for them to leave. That is it, right? So content, so when you think of it that way, tricking the algorithm is something that you probably could have done years and years ago when the algorithm in YouTube wasn't as advanced. Now the algorithm is like, it doesn't matter the tags you put in. It doesn't matter the name of the video. There's a lot of things where they know, like they read the images that you are putting up. When you upload a video, it's scanning all of that. It knows what's in the video. It's much smarter than most people give it credit for. So it's not like, I tricked the algorithm into surfacing my video more. The algorithm's just looking for the best damn video for that person. They're playing matchmaker. Who is this person? What do they want to watch? Let's give them the best one. And then they're going, all right, now that they've watched this video, we really want them to stay on our platform. What is the next video after that? And what's the next video? They want someone to be on the platform for hours and hours versus just, here's a video, but the second they saw it, now they got off the platform. And that's not their goal. The goal is more people watching, the more ads that they're going to watch, the more money YouTube's going to make, the more YouTube content creators are going to make, and that's their goal. So forget the SEO, forget the equipment for now. Okay, so let's hop on with what to get started with. And this is it. And I've taken training on this, so it's not like I'm just making this stuff up. I was doing a lot of things wrong, especially on that station you just watched. And I'm going to switch back over to my current station here. Where are we at? Okay, so I'm here. And the biggest thing to start with, and I learned this, is you want to start with your value proposition. Kind of like if you start a business, what makes you different? What makes you special? And part of that is going to be your personality and your style. But if I land on your station, I need to know what you're about, who you're for, who you're not for. And that's going to help me determine if you are my cup of tea or not. So let me see if I can just open my station here and take a look. But let's see, YouTube station. All right. So I'm going to share this right now. And the point of saying all this is, I remember at first I was just putting up videos thinking videos is what mattered. I just put up high quality videos, but you need to think of your station as a company, right? What does my company stand for? What is this really about? And when you do that, then it's going to be a lot easier, right? Because then you'll know what videos to make. So if you land, if this is my page right here, so Comeback Card Investor, and you see right here, practical zero hype sports card investing with a finance coach. At least people know that this is investing. It's not collecting. It's, there's collecting involved, but it's investing primarily. I'm a practical person. There's no hype. I'm catering to newbies. There's certain things I want to convey on my welcome mat or banner art. And then there's also a trailer video here. And this is talking about, okay, in 90 seconds, we're talking about the market. We're talking about, this is basically the video that will pop up for people that are not subscribed. So at least they can get a sense for what this station's about. But the point is that if you go to the About page, This needs to be your value proposition. This needs to be, hey, I'm here talking about 70s NBA cards only, or I'm talking about this, or I'm talking about my journey from being a high school senior and wanting to do this full time by the end of my freshman year of college. Something like that. It needs to be your value proposition clearly stated. And there's a guy that is really good in marketing. His company's called Story Brand, but he always says, if you confuse, you lose. And if you go on a lot of these stations, you'll see that it's very confusing. It's like, oh, sports cards. Okay, well, that's not niche enough now. I need, what about sports cards? Are you collecting? Are you investing? Are you collecting for kids that are on a low budget? Are you investing for retirees in their 70s that want to put their money in somewhere else? What are you doing specifically? What do you stand for? What don't you stand for? Okay. So the about page is that, but you need to get that value proposition down clearly. And then the next thing is to define your target audience. And the problem people make with target audience is that they will say, okay, anyone that likes sports cards will like my page. And again, that's not target. We want 39-year-old Bobby Wagner in Cincinnati, Ohio, who is married to Maggie, and they have 2 dogs and a son named Robert, and he is a firefighter, and she is a stay-at-home mom, and he's looking for some way to do. But anyway, when I did this training, they made us write out like a page and a half of one specific person that we made up in our mind, going over everything, the relationship this person has with their mother, the relationship they have with their spouse, what they do for a living, why they're into this. We want to get so clear on the understanding of who we're after that it becomes very easy to talk to the person on the other side. And it's very easy to convey our message to them versus like being that vanilla person. Hey, this is nice, and I kind of want you, and you're a 12-year-old kid getting into cards. Okay, let's talk. And you're 80 years old. Yeah, let's talk. You'll attract people outside of that target automatically, but it only comes from targeting that person and really diving in deep there. Because if I look at my analytics, in fact, maybe I'll share it, but I might share it later. If I look at my analytics at my audience, let's say, I'm gonna go down here, see if I can find my audience. Okay. So my audience is, I want to see the age because it says 98% male, 34% 25 to 34 years old. So 25 to 34, it's 34%. And between 35 and 44 years old, 36%. So that is my target. That actually used to be a lot higher. Maybe I'll just share the screen now so you guys can see. Share. Okay, so if you take a look here, and I'll go over a bit of analytics later, but if there's one thing to know is YouTube could be a college course, not a course, like a college degree. It could be a college degree because there's so much of depth in YouTube because you're talking about filmmaking, you're talking about storytelling, you're talking about analytics. But you see here, here's my audience. Now, you might not know what your audience will be at first, but I know that when I'm talking, I want to convey my message to, let's say, a 34-year-old guy, a guy like myself. I'm 34, so this is perfect. 25 to 34, 34%, 35 to 44, 36%. But when you create your station, value proposition and target audience, get that down first. What makes your station special? What makes you special? What are you going to be talking about? What are those parameters that you're going to stick in and really focus in on? And who is that person you are speaking to on the other side? Get that down very clearly. And now after 10 months of doing this and knowing, well, I guess like 11, and knowing so many people that are communicating with me the most, I'm like, oh yeah, you're like 35 and you're 45 and and it's mostly males. It's very easy to communicate in that style. But anyway, let me move on. All right, so we talked about value proposition, landing on your station, your banner, about your target audience. Okay, structuring your videos. This is huge. This is something that I did not do before, and when I learned this, it was a complete game changer. And to structure your videos, you can't just be like, hey, what's up? My name is Brad. I collect and invest in sports cards, and I want to show you this card real quick. It's a very beautiful card, and take a look here, and da-da-da. All right. The reason why is because you are giving yourself too much credit when you do something like that. The way to structure your videos is in a very specific way that evokes emotion, that that makes sure that someone that clicked on the title and clicked on the thumbnail to watch your video is actually getting what they came for. And you do that by using the strategy. And I learned this from Sunny Lenarduzzi. So you could look her up, Sunny, Sunny, Lenarduzzi. And she talked about HOT, HOTT. So the HOT formula is hook, outcome, tease, or testimonial. Hook is, I just sold a card for $3,000 profit. Boom, hooked. You got my attention. All right, you got me there. Outcome is, by the end of this video, or by the end, you're gonna know exactly how I did this, so you could do it yourself. Okay, that's a solid outcome. I'm listening. Tease or testimonial. Testimonial would be like, not only did I do this once, I taught my friend how to do this, and he made a great profit himself of $4,000. Wow, okay, testimonial. Other option would be tease. Tease would be, and stay tuned to the end where I give you an idea how to make 6,000 instead of 3,000. Or stay tuned to the end where I share with you what I did wrong that would have made this return on investment even higher. So now I'm honoring the person's time, the viewer's time, by saying you landed on this page, you clicked on the thumbnail, you clicked on the title, you got to this video, and now I'm not going off track. I'm honoring your time by saying, hey, hook, outcome, this is what you're getting, teaser, testimonial, and then you dive right in. One thing that I did learn in terms of the first 30 seconds of a video is, if you have like a little banner, not a banner, but like a little intro video, keep it very short, 5 seconds. Do not make this a long 10-second, 20-second thing, because that is not honoring someone else's time. That is honoring yourself. That is saying, here, the comeback card investor. I'm Brad. I'm the comeback card investor. I live in LA. I drive a Vespa. I eat cake. Okay. That's about you. That is not about the viewer. So, I mean, like some videos are better than others, but I always skip through to where the meat and potatoes are. It's like, all right, get me to the entree. I don't want this warm up appetizer stuff. I just want to know I'm at the right spot. I'm going to get what I came for, and the video is going to go. And that takes me to primal branding. So there's a book called Primal Branding that I was encouraged to read, and I did not read it, but they went over all the things in the training I did. So primal branding, when you think about it, it's why companies really succeed. Some companies are just like attract fanatics, like Apple, right? Apple is like, people go crazy over Apple, but their products aren't necessarily much better, if at all better, than a lot of other companies. But it includes mannerisms, right? So certain mannerisms, certain styles of communication is part of your branding. Rituals, like I always have that Go Bucks clip that pops up in every video that I remember, which is just like a part of a ritual where it's like, oh, dude, he's gonna have the Go Bucks thing pop up for a split second. The welcome back, now let's get to work. That is a ritual. That's something where it, in someone's head, it's like, all right, I can associate that with this station. Jeff has, hello, sports card investors, and welcome. He has his. Everyone that has a brand or a following, like, that's how you build consistency and strength, is by repeating these things over and over again. Same thing with your color scheme, with your banner. My old station had blue. It was the Millennials Guide to Money. And then I just carried that over to the Comeback Card Investor. But of course, Sports Card Investor also has blue. Just stick with a color or two colors. But that's just part of the stuff you'll need to learn. Okay, I'm looking at the next note here. Algorithm, it's overrated. Yeah, it's just designed to surface the best video to that viewer, not to be tricked. And the algorithm's just way smarter than you think. How to keep people watching. This is something I see a lot of people not try to do. But if you are if you're watching a video and right after watching the video, you're like, that was great. And then you click off of YouTube, YouTube is not going to want to surface your video as much as as compared to a video that they're watching. And then at the end of that video, they go, well, if you really like this, you're going to love blah, 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 blah. And you could see that in this video up here. They want people to continue watching on YouTube. So they're always looking for the right video combinations to put in front of someone so that one video feeds into the next. And you can actually do this yourself by crafting your video in a way that when you craft it, you ask yourself, well, what video would be a natural fit for someone to watch right after this? And it doesn't have to be your own. That's something I learned, is that it could be another station's video, but your video is going to look good to YouTube because you are directing them to someone else's video and they're actually staying on YouTube. YouTube is like, hey, we're all friends here. We're not against each other. We all just want people to watch on our platform and get what they want and be happy. So sometimes I'll direct people to Dustin Station or to PSA Collector or Jeff, Sports Card Investor, because I know that if I can successfully get people to watch my video to the end and then click on those others, YouTube is going to reward my video by showing it to more people, knowing that it's helping them stay on the platform. Okay, I'm talking a lot. Okay, let's talk a bit about, and you do this with playlists and end screens. So you can figure that out. Better to focus on building a community than a station. Here's the difference. A lot of people are just focused on, let me put out videos, and they are not focused on the power of a community. And the community is where the power comes from. That is where there's a lot of other opportunities that can come up because your videos are not just transactional. Now, my old station, the Millennials Guide to Money, that was zero community, all how to something. No one knew me. I didn't know anyone. There was zero connection. And I said, when I do this with sports cards, I'm going to be engaged. I'm going to answer the comments. I'm going to be in that community tab. I'm going to be listening to feedback and shouting people out and doing all that, because a community is powerful and it's fun. Putting up videos where it's how to do this, how to do that, and having no connection, it's not as fun. It's just not as fun. It's not as powerful either. And people will come to your station for the video and get out, but they will never be open to listening to what you have to say beyond sports cards or care about you as a person. All right. So SEO, keywords, titles. Okay, so this is interesting. Titles, we'll talk about keywords, and there's a section in here of keywords. Let me see if I can go to it, and I'll show you on a video. So I'll go to my most recent video here, and when I'm recording this, my most recent video is my game plan to full-time income doing sports cards. So let's see here. Let me go over analytics. All right, so let me share the screen. I'll do entire screen just so I don't mess it up. All right, so that is not it. All right, so here are my details too. This is how I make full-time income. And a lot of the stuff here in the description is just default settings. Down here, I have my thumbnail. I've added it to 2 playlists, and I have these tags. And this is good. These green numbers mean that this is where the video is popping up under that search result. So if people search sports card investing, this should be the 11th result. Sports card investing 2021, this should be the 8th. However, what I've learned is that this stuff does not matter nearly as much as people think. So it's cool to see that this ranks so high. I just want to fill it out. I might as well do it. It's not a lot of work. But on the back end here, Los Angeles, English, I don't really follow too much of this. And YouTube's very smart. So it's not something where they need you to do all this to succeed. You need to make great content to succeed. That's really the point. Let me see what else I wanted to show you, if there's anything else. Hold on. Let me go to my notes here. Okay. So thumbnails is really big. So hold on. Sorry. So if I go over to thumbnails, This is it. Look, you got to be honest with what will someone click, right? I mean, the goal is not to be clickbaity. The goal is to be intriguing with your thumbnail. And one piece of advice that really helped me out is a lot of people will duplicate the title in the thumbnail. So they'll put like how to make money with sports cards in their title, and the thumbnail will just be how to make money with sports cards. So you're not adding anything new there, and you're not adding any intrigue or suspense. There's no curiosity being built. So something better would be the title, "This is how I paid off my car with sports cards." Because now if you made money with sports cards and you used it to pay off your car, well, then paying off your car is a lot more powerful. That's a lot more of a benefit for people than just, oh, make money. Yeah, but the only reason to make money is to pay off your car or go on that vacation or pay off your student loan or whatever else. So you want it to be very relatable, but also make sure the thumbnail complements it instead of just duplicates it. So if it's this is how I paid off my car with by flipping sports cards, then maybe a picture of your car, and it says like $8,000 paid or something where it adds to the title, or like maybe if it's a really nice car, and you do have a nice car, maybe people are like, damn, you paid off that Jeep or that big Ford truck, or I guess or BMW or something like that. But compliment, don't duplicate. All right, let me stop sharing. All right, next up, and this is, I think I have another 5 minutes or so, 10 minutes. Compelling content. This is clutch, and this is the hardest thing in my opinion, because I'm a left brain thinker. I'm not one of these artists. I'm not a natural storyteller. If you want to see someone that's very good at storytelling, go over to Ben Carlos's station. He is great at YouTube. He knows how to do it. But storytelling is, what is the character? Who is the character? What struggle are they facing? What comes along for them to overcome the hurdle? How does it go? What are the pitfalls? You made it to the top. It is the roller coaster. Just like we watch, Batman Begins, or one of those movies. It's like you're in the hole, you're going through struggle, you're fighting, and then this happens, and then you meet this person, and Alfred, and all that stuff. It's a lot of very it's very tough to really get good at, in my opinion, because I'm such a how-to bulletproof, not bulletproof, because that's like the coffee I drink, bullet point person. And here are just some of the components. So you might be better at this than me. Emotion, evoke emotion. That means like, I was really down, I'm really high up, I was really scared, I'm really confident. Play on the emotion, because that's what we love. We want stories. That's why stories are so powerful. Relatability is the next one I have. Relatability. I was feeling so down because my rent was due in 3 days, and I needed to make an extra $400 to pay my rent with sports cards, and I had no idea how to do it. And then I had this crazy idea where I was going to buy this one card that no one was looking at, and if he had a monster game in the next 2 nights, then I would be able to make enough to pay my rent. And the first game, the first night, he was awful. He only scored 4 points. But then when, on the 31st of January, I was watching, hoping he'd have a monster game. He came off the bench and hit three pointers in the first quarter and never looked back. And his card spiked up $500, and I sold it, and it was just enough to pay my rent. All right, obviously I made that up. That's a story, though. That is exactly what we are compelled to look at and be drawn to. We love those stories. So the more elements like that, the better. Stories also have viewers feel like they know you. That's why I like having it here. I like showing my bike, my Vespa. I like being like, hey, this is me. This is my life. Hopefully you guys have a sense for who I am based on what I reveal. This is huge. In every moment of your video, my goal is to either educate, entertain, or inspire. If you grew up in the 90s, you might be familiar with Bill Nye the Science Guy. This guy was the man. He's not the most brilliant scientist in the world. I'm sure there are many scientists that know a lot more than Bill Nye the Science Guy, but he went on TV and he made science easy to understand. He made it fun, and he inspired me to like science, to look into science, because he made science cool. So I always think to myself, how can I be the Bill Nye of sports cards with my personality? How can I entertain, educate, and inspire in every second? If you only educate, you can be easily replaced. You know, you're like a library, you're like a encyclopedia. Great. That's education. I don't need that. Like, anyone can do that. If you educate and entertain, you're getting very tough to replace, because now people want to listen to you and learn from you because of the way that you convey the information. But then if you can inspire as well, then you have someone that is a unicorn. And that's like Gary Vee. I think Gary Vee does all three very well. He educates, he entertains because he has a lot of funny jokes, and he's just he has a very natural comedic style, and great at articulating thoughts in a way that is just easy to digest and good like that. And then he's very inspirational. So if you can be all three, then you're like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, like Gary Vee, and maybe Tony Robbins or someone else. But very few people can do all three. That's at least the goal. All right. Data and analytics. I'm not going to get too much into this, but there's that whole page on the back side of YouTube showing all your analytics. The ones that I think are best are click-through rate, which tells you when people see your thumbnail and title on the side of YouTube or on the front of it, what percentage actually click on your video. And this is important, because if it's very high, that could mean that your title and thumbnail do a great job at bringing people in. They like what they see to the point where they click. And then there's also audience retention. Sorry. All right, so there's also, damn, that didn't work. A lot of talking for 10 o'clock in the morning. Okay, where was I? All right, data analytics, click-through rates, that's people going to your video, and then audience retention. This is really cool, because this is where you get to see what is actually happening. So let me go to the analytics of that last video, and I'll show you guys. Share screen. Okay. So here's that video, and this is what I like to watch. Reach, engagement. So I'm looking up all this stuff, average view duration. I want to see how long in the video people are staying. But let me go to, where's the other part right here? Reach. Okay. All right, impression click through. So this is basically how many people, what percentage of people are seeing it and then clicking on. But what I really want to see, let me see where it's at. Audience retention. Hopefully it's available right now. It might not be available until tomorrow. Okay, not enough. Okay, let me go to another video to show you guys. So let's see. This one is old enough. All right. Okay, so this is really important. So check this out. This is audience retention. And let me make sure I'm sharing. Yep. Okay. So this is like, all right, 10 seconds in, I'm already down to 74%. So people have dropped off after that. And that's normal. It's normal to get like a drop off like this. But what's interesting is, look right here. This actually went back up to 75% at a minute 21. So if I go to a minute 21, so look, I said, let's start with number 5 in the video. So these are the cards that I've invested in. People skipped the front and they're like, 121 is right there. That is it. That is the picture of the first card. And you see here, it's spiked. Now, I bet you if I go to this spike right here at 304, this will be number 2. So let's see, 304. All right, hold on, wait a second. It's almost there. Okay, so that was all of them that I bought. So that's showing all of them. Okay, so this is the next spike right here showing the Mike Trout, right? Now, I'm not going to go through all this, but the point is that when you can go into the back of analytics and see when people are staying and when people are leaving, and you see what percentage viewed, what percentage of the video was viewed by people, then you get a good chance. And honestly, 45 to 55, like 55% is actually pretty damn good. Like to me, that's pretty damn good. A lot of times it's, I think an average for a station, somewhere like average for a good station is probably around 50%. If they're really good, it would be less. Then you see how many subscribers you got from it, the revenue you've gotten from that video as well. So it shows you a lot, but I wouldn't focus on all the analytics. I would really just focus on click-through rate and audience retention at first. All right, let's see what else we got. Almost done. Okay. Yeah, that's it if you want to get started. Now, here's the thing. Everything I say will lead you down a hallway of learning about that. Like just finding the target audience and just the analytics and just the thumbnail and the keyword. And it like YouTube's not something to try. It's like climbing Mount Everest, where if you're dedicated to it, you will do it and you will reach the top because you will learn what it takes to craft the content and offer value in this way that people get and convey your message to the right person. All this stuff. It's a lot of work, but if you want to do it, like go all in. Don't be half pregnant about it. You're either all in or you're not. And if you want a couple of resources, let me share this with you. Okay, Primal Branding. I would recommend downloading the Audible or buying the physical book. Sonny Lenarduzzi was the other one that I watched at first. But really, the company that I watch, and I'll pull them up here. These are the guys I started listening to a couple years ago, and their station is Video Creators. So it's funny that I'm not actually subscribed on this station, but let me share it with you right here. This is the guys that I would listen to their podcast every week. I would watch their videos. And then this guy up here, Lennon, I actually did my 8-week YouTube course with him. And it was actually 9 weeks on Zoom with him, which really helped. And then I did a one-on-one consultation with him. And actually, I wanted to bring that up. So let me go to the station here, YouTube Creators. What's it? Creator Academy. Hold on a second. What's it called? Video Creator. Let me see if I can pull up their website here. Okay. So this is their company. And then if you're interested, you can do 30 days to a better YouTube station. I think this is very affordable. I think this is like $50 or something like that. I don't know how much it is. You can look that up on your own time, but Video Creators. And then down here, I did Video Labs. And Video Labs is the course I did. And it was 8 weeks, but they actually gave a bonus week. And they have the entire itinerary and everything down here. It's very intense. This was not my group, but this is how it was every single week. And then I did it with Lennon. So if you want to do it with Tim, who is the founder, it's $2,500. If you want to do it with one of the others, it's $1,500. I paid $1,500 to do it with Lennon. Well worth the money. Now, what's crazy is that I actually did that course with him, but then I also did a one-on-one. So let me see if I have it here. Certified YouTube Consulting. And it was $300. Yeah, there it is. So grow your channel with Tim's team. I actually did this. It was a 1-hour Zoom with Lennon, with that one guy. But what's interesting is that some people go, all right, that is insane. Like that's a lot of money. However, in that one Zoom call, the one thing that Lennon told me, let me stop sharing. In that one Zoom call, he looked over my station. He's like, Brad, who's your audience? I was like, well, I actually don't have it defined as well as I should. But it's this. Okay. And he goes, all right, well, based on your content, it looks like you're not catering to anyone that is new. It looks like you're only catering to people that know as much as you and are on that journey. But how are new people going to find your station? And I was like, oh my God, you're right. Everything is based on where I'm at now, like the people that have started with me and going forward. but I'm not really creating content for someone that is just learning it. They'd be lost. And so he said, Lennon said, Brad, why don't you just put out one video per month, maybe two, on new content, new evergreen content? And I was like, okay, I can definitely do that. And what's funny, and this is why, because, you know, everyone talks about cost instead of value. When I did that one course, or that one Zoom call with Lennon, what happened is that I started making videos on Sports Card Investing 101, the how-to, and the first one I made, I'll show you right here, is Sports Card Investing 101. Avoid these rookie mistakes was the thumbnail. I'll go into it right here. This was the first one. This is in October. I published it, and I think our Zoom session was at the end of August or in September. This one video right here has gotten me over 2,500 subscribers, 2.6K, and netted me $822. This one video from his advice has more than doubled the investment that it took to get there. So that was just one video, plus there were a lot of others. But the point is that everyone looks at cost, but value is really what matters. Okay, I think that's all I wanted to share there. Now, I like doing this. I like sharing what I'm doing, and hopefully it helps you along the way. If you are interested in creating a YouTube station and you want some others to do it with, feel free to comment on this unlisted video and see if anyone else comments. I think it's great to be able to collaborate with others that are getting started. And if you are very serious about growing a YouTube station to the point where you want to invest that money, then go to the videocreators.com and I wouldn't do the one-on-one just yet. I would do 30 days to a better YouTube station at first, get that down. Then I would do the video creators 8-week course for $1,500 to $2,500. And then after that, I think that's where the one-on-one sessions make sense. Now, depending on the response, if people really like the idea of working with me to grow their YouTube station and be able to implement all this stuff, I've thought about in the past of putting together a group just in sports cards or sports that want to be able to start this and get it running and mimic that 8-week course, but at a much lower price point. Complete thought at this point. If there's demand, if people are like, yeah, I would do it, I would pay X amount and it'd be worth my time, it'd be well worth your time, I'll entertain the idea, because it'd be a win-win situation all around. But until then, there's a lot of great free resources that'll help you. And then if you have the money to do that 8-week course, changed my life, changed everything for me. So I'd go from there. But guys, thanks so much for watching. It's 47 minutes in. I hope you have a couple good tips or good takeaways to implement on your station. I wish you the best of luck, and I got to pee. See you on the next live stream. See you guys.